Hello, I am Sheila Benjamin Inusa, one of the spiritual eternals. You know, it is so important that we learn to tap into the spiritual side of who we are. It is so important that we understand what it means to have a spiritual awakening. It is so important that we understand that a spiritual awakening is often equated with enlightenment, a profound understanding, and the deepest understanding of the universe and our place in the universe. It's about our place as we align with God, as we get closer to God consciousness, as we realize who we really are. We have to realize that we have an alignment with God that is an innate ability to tap into God's consciousness. But so many of us never even realize that. So many of us never transcend the experience of this earthly realm, of this earthly body that is our transportation to get around here on the earth. But I want you to understand that on the inside of you is spirituality. On the inside of you, your spiritual awakening is just waiting to be awakened within you. I want you to understand with that spiritual awakening, I want you to know that it is a awakening between yourself and the divine. And once you have that awakening that is between yourself and the divine, I want you to understand that the divine begins to dissolve away those things that is keeping you bound. That divine begins to dissolve away what's holding you and keeping you hostage, what's keeping you bound, what's keeping you from reaching your greatest potential. I want you to know that empowerment as the divine dissolves away what is keeping you bound. I want you to understand that as it dissolves it, it gives you rise to empowerment, that originates from within. And that's what I need you to understand, is that it gives you that power that resonates from within. The essence of our very existence, a recognition and utilization of our greatest power. The greatest power is on the inside of you. But a lot of times we stay bound to these earthly bodies, this earthly existence. But I want you to understand that you have the ability within you to talk to your greater self. And when you reach your greater self on that level, you can still go a little higher as we elevate towards God consciousness, and we continue to elevate to a higher level of spiritual consciousness, God consciousness. The journey of spiritual awakening varies for each one of us, but we all have common ground, and that common ground is the revelation, where we are embracing of a greater reality, a universal consciousness that teaches us both humility, and it also gives us strength, and it lightens our path towards a higher state of being. I want to read to you something that I just wrote from my desk this morning about such a thing as I was teaching a class. And so in this class, I said to the class, I gave them a clip of what I was talking about. And what I ended up saying is spiritual awakening is often described as a profound realization or enlightenment that one experiences on the path to God consciousness. So I want you to understand that your spiritual awakening is something that you encounter on your way to God consciousness. It's an enlightenment. And each and every segment, we'll talk about enlightenment. We'll talk about awakening. And so later we're going to get in the actual definitions of enlightenment and awaken. But as I was saying, I want to read the rest of what I wrote. Let me go back and start over. Spiritual awakening is often described as a profound realization or enlightenment that one experiences on the path to God consciousness. It's a moment of epiphany where the dense fog of mundane concerns lifts, revealing a deeper, more intrinsic layer of existence centered around a divine core. This transcends journey leads to individual towards an awakening that empowers from within, tapping into their most vulnerable power. It is a state where the soul connection to the divine becomes undeniable. It's undeniable, it's tangible, it's fostering a sense of unity and boundless compassion. Those who experience this awakening look at the world through a refreshed lens, seeing not through eyes clouded by material concerns, but with a vision embedded with spiritual clarity. The inner transformation galvanizes one's life purpose, instilling a new profound sense of direction aligned with humility, love, and consciousness, regardless of where they came from. This consciousness is in regard of the universe, its interconnectedness of all beings. And so I just wanted to talk to you today as I read you a little clip about different things that comes from my dad's. And I could go on because there is other ones where I'm talking about the same thing. I'm going to read you this one as well. Spiritual awakening is an enlightening journey that often leads an individual to a profound recognition of a higher power and heightenedness of God. So you have to understand that our goal is to reach God consciousness. Our goal is to tap into the greatest power that's on the inside of us that will lead us to God consciousness. And so as we talk about it, I want you to know that it will be heightened. Such a transformational experience serves as a soulful revival. It illuminates the spirit from within, sparking an internal revolution of the mind and the heart. This newfound empowerment is not drawn from the external world, but rather from tapping into one's greatest power, to divine connection between self and the universe. It's about perceiving the divine essence that permeates all the existence and connecting us with it on a deeply personal level. As individuals achieve this level of awakening, they often report a sense of profound peace and understanding, feeling more attuned with the purpose of life and the omnipresence of God's wisdom in their daily action. Through spiritual awakening, lives are not just altered, but are enriched with a consciousness that elevates existence to a realm of higher understanding and meaningfulness. So I wanted to read those things to you and talk about those things because we need to know that it's on the inside of us. And so we are on a spiritual journey. We are on a journey to tap into the greatest power that lies on the inside of us. We're on a journey to be awakened. We're on a journey to go where we've never been before. And I need you to understand that it's all on the inside of you. It's all within your reach. But I've got to be your spiritual guide, and I've got to lead you and guide you into these truths. You have to have an open mind, a mind that is willing to receive, a mind that is willing to believe in something greater than yourself. But I want you to know that everything that I'm talking about is a different level of consciousness. It is your journey to God consciousness. It's your journey to be like God. I don't know about you, but one of my goals is to be like God. And I understand that when I reach God consciousness, that I am more like Him each and every day. I want you to understand that this is a lifelong journey. It's not something that you do one time and you stop doing. You have got to be willing to accept this as your lifelong journey to empowerment, your lifelong journey to enlightenment, your lifelong journey to learn and to grow in the knowledge of who you really are and the power and the strength that has been embedded in you. You have the ability to elevate to a different level of consciousness. I want you to understand that this level, this earthly realm where we are operating at now, we need these physical bodies to legally operate on the planet Earth. This is what we need to be operational here. but these bodies limits us to not being able to reach our full potential. So we have to tap into a different level of consciousness so we can go where we have never been before. And you're going to hear me stress that more and more as we take this journey of spiritual enlightenment. You're going to hear me express more and more that it is a journey that we take together to help you reach God consciousness, because that's our goal. The Eternals is here because we've taken this journey, and we continue to take this journey because, as I told you before, it's a lifelong journey. It's not something that you just do one time and then you're over with. No, as you tap into the inner dimension of self, when you're able to operate on a different level of consciousness, the answers that you seek become available to you. Let me tell you that again. A lot of times we get confused, and because we're in this earthly realm, we're in this body that is our transportation here on earth. Well, because we're in this body, we're not seeing everything that it is for us to see. And so when you elevate to a different level of consciousness, it allows you to see beyond your present circumstance. It allows you to remove yourself from this earthly body, and all the things that is holding you bound, you're able to be removed from that, and you're able to operate on a different level of consciousness. Well, when you go to this different level of consciousness, it allows you to understand things that you didn't understand before. Most people that are extremely successful, most people that have accomplished great things, whether they tell you about it or not, they're able to meditate. They're able to transport from one level of consciousness to the next level of consciousness. And so we all should be aware of this and understand that we're on a journey towards God consciousness. And so I'm going to tell you that over and over and over, because on this journey to God's consciousness, you learn, you grow, you learn to tap into the power, the very essence of your soul. You learn to tap into everything that is on the inside of you. It is a journey worth taking. It is a journey that will leave you fulfilled. It's a journey that will help you walk in your purpose. It's a journey that allows you to tap in to another dimension of yourself. You know what? When I talk to my greater self, then I find answers that in this level of consciousness, I can't come up with the answer. I don't know the answer. I'm frustrated. Day after day after day, I'm frustrated because I'm trying to operate and find answers that's not on this level of consciousness. So then I have to realize that I'm on a journey of awakening my spiritual consciousness. I'm on a journey to awaken my different levels of consciousness. I'm on a journey that's going to enlighten me. I'm on a journey that's going to awaken me, and I'm on a journey that's going to empower me. And so those are the key words that you want to keep in mind when you talk about this tribe, because this tribe is on a spiritual journey together of enlightenment. This tribe together is on a spiritual journey of empowerment. So we are steadily on the move, striving for God consciousness, striving to be who we were created to be, striving to always tap in to the greater essence of who we are. We are always striving to go to the very core, to our soul, and to listen to what our soul is telling us, to listen to how we are being directed and what instructions that we have been given, so that we can walk in the fullness of what we was created to walk in. And so that's what I need you to understand on today, is that you're on a journey. This journey is a journey of empowerment. This journey is a journey of enlightenment. This journey is a journey to where you understand and come to know your true identity, and that you're able to walk in your God-given purpose, your God-given destiny. But guess what? You walk in it with power. You walk in it with the understanding of who you are and who you were created to be. And because you're able now to have God consciousness, because you're able now to elevate to different levels of consciousness, you're finding answers to things that you've been wanting to know the answers to for years and years and years. But all of a sudden, the revelation is made plain to you because the answer was within you all the time. You just had to get in contact with your greater version of yourself. You just had to get in contact with the greater version of who you are, who you truly are. A lot of us don't realize that we have this inner power, that we have this inner strength. A lot of us don't realize our greatness. A lot of us don't realize that we even need to be enlightened. A lot of us don't realize that we need to be empowered. A lot of us don't realize that we need transformation in our life. A lot of us don't realize that our goal should be God consciousness, and that we can elevate towards God consciousness day by day. And so the closer I get to being just like God, the more power that is revealed within me, the more I can call forth the manifestation into my own life and expect the manifestation to show up today. So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about God consciousness, because you tap into what's already been put on the inside of you, and you learn to utilize what has already been put on the inside of you for you to use. You learn to utilize that. You learn to walk in your greatness. You learn to always be in contact with the greatest version of you. So when I don't have the answer on this level, and keep in mind, the Eternals is teaching you how to elevate from this level of consciousness, which most people operate in this level of consciousness all the time. They don't realize that they need to go to another level of consciousness to achieve their goals, to achieve their dreams. That's why it's my job and it's the Eternal's job to make sure that you understand that everything you need is already on the inside of you. You've got to tap in to a different level of consciousness. You have got to start moving towards God consciousness each and every day. It's a journey. This tribe is taking the journey with you. This tribe wants you to reach God's consciousness so that you will realize the power that operates within you. So you will realize that you have the power to speak a thing and it'll come to pass. You have the power to transform your very existence. The power is within you. But our job as Eternals is to help guide you, to be your spiritual guide, to help you realize and utilize what's on the inside of you, just waiting for you to tap into it. So again, I want you to be reminded that what you need is on the inside of you. You don't have to go anywhere else. You don't have to look anywhere else. You have to be willing to take this spiritual journey of enlightenment, this spiritual journey of awakening, this spiritual journey on your way to God consciousness, knowing that it is within your reach, knowing that you can accomplish things that you've never accomplished before, knowing that your wildest dreams can become your reality because you're now tapped into God consciousness. You're now getting closer and closer to being just like God. And a lot of people say, how can you say that? Well, if we were created in the image of the Most High God, we were created in His image. So that lets us know that it should be our desire to be Christ-like. It should be our desire to be able to think on the level that He thinks on, and it should be our desire to constantly strive towards God consciousness. Again, I want to remind you that if you're going to the Bible or whatever book that you choose to read, it will tell you that we were made and we were created in the image of the Most High God. So if you were created and made in the image of the Most High God, wouldn't it make sense that you're supposed to be like Him? You were created in His image. So that set the blueprint, that set the premise for you to obtain God consciousness. That should have set us all on a path. When we found out that we were marvelously and wonderfully made, we were created in the image of the Most High God, that was our signal. That was our clue that we are to be elevated to God consciousness. And so I just wanted to make sure that you understand that you are not limited to what you see. You are not limited to what is around you. You're not limited to what other people say. What other people say is not as important as what you're saying about yourself. what other people say and think is not as important, then it's not more important, and it's not as important to what you're telling yourself and how you're telling yourself that you can operate and what you're telling yourself that you can do. So it's time for you to tap into God consciousness. That is our goal. But you have to start from somewhere. So when I say that you have to start from somewhere, I want you to understand that it's a journey. I've told you this before. It's a lifelong journey. Each and every day we should be striving for that God consciousness. Each and every day we should be striving to become more like Him. And in that journey of striving for enlightenment, empowerment, awakening, it's a journey that we're going to take. And as we go along that journey, we become stronger and stronger and stronger. We come to understand the power that operates on the inside of us. So here's what I want to leave you with. On this level of consciousness, you are very limited to what you can do. Remember that I'm talking about tapping into your very soul. I'm talking about tapping into God consciousness. So keep in mind that on this level of consciousness, you are very limited to what you can do, what you cannot do, and what is possible. But when you go within and you start elevating to a different level of consciousness, that ideals, the answers, and the problems that you're seeking on this level of consciousness is revealed to you in the next level of consciousness, so you know how to solve the problems that is in your day-to-day life on this level of consciousness. But to get the answers that you seek, it is important to you for you to constantly elevate to different levels of consciousness on your way to God's consciousness, because the answers that you seek is along the way. The power that you seek is along the way. So remember, our goal is God consciousness. Our goal is to become more and more like God each and every day. And as you reach that level of God consciousness, then you understand things like you've never understood them before, and you're able to walk in what He has preordained for you to walk in. You're able to know your power. You're able to know your strengths. So it is so very important that you're able to realize all of this, and that you're truly able to elevate to God consciousness. You know what? It's time for you to take a journey of empowerment, a journey of enlightenment, a journey to where you are awakened. Now is the time. You don't want to wait. You don't want to miss this. It's time for you to take the journey.